Start recording again. Okay, go live. 3, 2, 1. Hi. So it says the connection is weak, but yeah, let's try it. So hi everybody. Here I am. I'm from the SuperwomenBabes Club, and I wanted to do online webinars because not a lot of people can actually come to London to be with our amazing experts, and with the Facebook Lives and webinars we'll be able to reach a much broader audience. I have with me here today Maxine, who is a Calling in the One coach, and some of you might have heard of this series that is written by Catherine Woodward-Thomas, who has really, a few years ago there was a huge, series of webinars all the time about law of attraction and how to create wealth, how to create your soulmate, etc. And knowing her, I know that she actually did attract her soulmate, and she's a very established businesswoman, and Maxine has decided to study with her. And so could you tell us a little bit about, why you studied with her, and basically what will people learn in the For Fuck's Sake, Why Am I Single online series that we're going to organize for the next week?
Hi, Angelique. Thanks for having me here. And thank you, SuperwomenBabes, for listening and joining us. I'm very excited to share this information with you. But firstly, to go back to why have I trained with Catherine Woodward-Thomas? I think it stems from my own journey. I've been married twice, and some people would say that I'm a very good catch. But I've also been divorced twice. And I've suffered a lot of heartache around love and romance. And initially I trained as a psychotherapist, and then I trained as a coach. And I think what happened is, when I met my second husband, I actually did everything that was in the Calling in the One book. And this was before the book was actually written. So I did all the things, and I started a seminar called The Secrets of Dating, How to Attract Your Soulmate. Which I ran for some period of time, and then I went off to South Africa and had my babies and stuff. And in 2010, when I broke up with my second husband, I went through a lot of heartache and a lot of pain. And it was at that point that I thought to myself, well, I need to understand more about why this has happened to me. And I'm sure, as with many of the women on this call, they're very conscious women that are looking to understand themselves and are self-reflective, and they want to create really sort of healthy, happy love lives. And so I think for me, what happened as part of that, I started to look at, what is it about me that is creating this situation and these circumstances that I found myself in, not only once but twice. And on that journey of self-reflection and understanding, I came to the realization that, it's very much about where we're centered in our consciousness. And in other words, how are we co-creating something? How are we part of our experience? And through sort of further analysis and further understanding and sort of self-awareness, I really got to the point where I sort of said to myself, well, you know what? If I want to teach this to other people, and I want to be able to really help people to overcome their fears around love and to have the love that they want, then who is the best person to go to have a structured approach to learning how to make the changes we want to change? And Catherine was that person. She's definitely, designed a program and a book that is, another one best-selling book. Her program, she's worked with hundreds of thousands of people. So I wanted to learn from the best in order to be able to give the best to the people that I work with. And that's really why I started to train with her. But what's actually interesting is Catherine and I have had the very same experiences, as in she was single for a long time. I sort of got married very, very young. And then, to have my second partner, I really said, what type of man do I want to be with? Who do I really want to be with? And what would he be like? And I literally felt like I created my partner. My first partner, I unconsciously chose. And my second partner, I consciously chose. So there's a big difference. And that's really what I want to share with people is how do you consciously create, your soulmate who's in true alignment with who you are and who you, and how you want to show up in the world. So that's really why, oops, bear me 1 second. Sorry. That's really why I trained with Catherine.
Okay. So, we chose the very challenging title of For Fuck's Sake, Why Am I Single? Could you say something about why people do this following, calling in the one thing? Is it like, are they super desperate, or are they maybe not desperate, but are they frustrated? Like, I definitely could say, it's probably a combination of all, but also we know that, we're so super intelligent, but actually, sometimes in love, even the most, established, successful people are astonished by how chemistry takes over, and they just make such unconscious choices. But even when we do make conscious choices, romance or love is not one of the most difficult things to actually master ourselves in, just understanding ourselves, but also understanding the other. So for fuck's sake, why am I single is probably more about the creation process of meeting and assessing people that we might meet. Would that be a truthful assessment?
Absolutely. And I think we particularly chose the title because how many of your girlfriends have you heard say that? How many beautiful, talented, smart, successful, clever women have you heard say that statement at one time or another? And often, they've repeatedly said that statement. I know that I've said that in my life, and I have a number of girlfriends that have said that very same thing. And what you've touched on is that, why is it that people can be so sorted, for want of a better word, in their life, in so many different areas of their life, but their love lives seem to be somewhat lacking? And certainly from the calling in the one perspective, we look at it from the point of view, well, life doesn't happen to you, it happens through you. So if life is happening through you, there's two things that you can do in that moment of time. You can say, well, I'm responsible for what I'm creating or what is happening in my life. And there's two points to that, is that we tend to live very much, or we have done, and I think that, evolution, we're changing. We're on the edge of consciousness. It's always evolving. And I do think our consciousness is going through a massive shift right now, where people are really willing to take responsibility for their lives and for themselves. Yeah. And I think in the past, where this has been different is that people have felt they're very much a victim to their circumstances. Yes. So from calling in the one, we're saying, if, as Catherine says, if life is happening through you rather than to you, then the power to create what you want in life is within you, So when people say, for fuck's sake, why am I single? What has happened is they have been looking at their love lives, or at finding the one, or at meeting the one from an external perspective. So what I mean by that, Angelique, is that people say, well, I need to be fit, I need to be slim, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm too tall, I'm too short, I'm not smart enough, I'm not beautiful enough, I need long hair, I need false eyelashes. Do you see what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with false eyelashes, I love them myself every now and then, but the point is, what I'm saying is, people are looking externally to fix the problem.
Yes.
And because they're looking externally, they're coming from that very mindset of life is happening to me, rather than I'm a powerful created being. I mean, like, how powerful are we as, co-creators in the universe and in the planet? So when you shift the perspective, and that's what literally calling in the one, we look at the inner obstacles to love and we remove them. And we really understand that when we're centered in a different place in our consciousness, so i.e. when we're thinking differently, when we're feeling differently, we will manifest and create different people, circumstances, opportunities to have the love we want. And I think even more importantly than that, you know, I mean, that's really powerful. But the other thing is that you know, calling in the one is about having an awakening to love. It's completely awakening to a different experience of love than the love that you've currently experienced in your life up until now. And that's really powerful for people. It's amazing. I just love doing this work because it's so amazing.
Oh, this sounds really very, I think this is an amazing conversation about you know, what the program is about. So what we will be doing is we will actually be doing a 6-part series. So the first one is Saturday, and what we will be doing there is we'll be talking about anecdotes of how this program has changed people's lives. And then from Monday to Friday, we will go through the 5 steps with Maxine. So there will be short nuggets, but yes, stay tuned in. We're going to post the link on under this post, and so do private messages or just comment on the post to be updated on basically how you can get access to the recordings. Okay, everybody, I see the Facebook.
Oh, Angelique.
Yes.
Before you go, Angelique, one other thing I'd love to say to people is, you know, if they're really inspired to join the conversation with us, if they've got any questions, pop them in the box below now, and then we can make sure we address them as we're going through the week. You know, I'm sure there's going to be lots of people with lots of questions, particularly as it's Valentine's, and that in itself brings up lots of wants, desires, heartaches, pain. So yeah, let's answer everyone's questions and see if we can really help people make a difference this week.
I know a few years ago, I was actually in a relationship then. I organized anti-Valentine's Day because it was also because I was so reminded of all the years that I was single and I didn't have a Valentine. But yeah, definitely Valentine's opens up a lot of wounds to people. Where I am in Hong Kong, I've actually heard of people actually sending themselves gifts and roses because they're so ashamed to be single. And I even heard about Chinese New Year and Christmas is that you can rent people that can pose as your partner. I mean, I was like flabbergasted, right?
Yeah, I know. It's sad. And what I say is, you know what? If you are alone this Valentine's Day, send yourself some flowers. Go buy yourself some flowers or chocolates. But don't deny it. Don't hide. Don't be ashamed about it. But just give yourself the gift of what you want. You know, that's what I say about it. But it is, you know, it is sad. It's a day that people are reminded of the fact that if you're single, that you're alone, and it's painful for people.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, we'll see you later online, and hopefully we'll get some engagement. Thank you so much, Maxine. I look forward to Saturday. Okay.
I look forward to it too. Thanks, Angelique. Take care. Bye.